I'm a little early right now. It went on. I'm out of YouTube jail. Hello, everyone. Anybody coming on to watch? I am on my channel, so I am going to give a Facebook shout, and hopefully, I can get this out to other places. Oh, what is going on? I have cats that are fighting. They want to go out. It's raining. They can't. So now they're not yelling at me. They're yelling at each other. Be calm, ladies. Seriously. They are like little tiny children in fur. And they're like dogs too. So be nice to each other, okay? Just be nice because I don't want to act like a poop head in front of people talking to them, trying to get them to behave. All right. Yeah, let's see. Let's talk to Facebook people. It's gonna be cool. I might try to put on a little more light here. Yeah, you gonna go out now? Okay. Hello there. So my YouTube channel does work. I may get up and down because I have cats that act like dogs that are kind of fighting with each other a little bit because they want to go out. It's raining a lot, and I won't let them go out. They know they're probably just safe and fine, but then I have to kind of get up and they'll be wet for balls. They'll hide out a little bit, and I'm just not into it. They go out. I do pay a lot of attention to them. They go out quite a bit, enough to that I send them out even when I send them out even when they probably shouldn't go out, but I just go by my intuition, so they're safe. So, Deb and anyone that sees this live Facebook portion, I'm actually going to be, and I'm on my Coyote Heart Destiny and the Sylph on YouTube. I might keep both of these running. It's the only time I'll have to go is something I might want to look up on my camera here. So I'm probably just going to do the Coyote Heart thing. So yeah, and that way you can, I think you can join in on the chat over there. So, okay, so I'm over on the Coyote Heart Destiny and the Sylph on YouTube. I'm out of the YouTube jail, and I'm going to go over a few things that I'm learning from that have happened to me, and some stuff as I grow and expand and process, and I'm just going to include you in on that. So here we go. Okay, Deb, I'll see you over there on, on the YouTube. Coyote Heart, Destiny, and the Sylph. Bye. Bye, anybody who sees this. Thank you for you. Okay, so I think what I want to do is lower that for right now. What I want to do is welcome everybody to my channel. Yes, you may have heard, I still would like to run my Syrian Star Oracle in the Age of Aquarius channel. I'm going to actually call and text a friend tonight, see if he can help me. And I still have a StreamYard tutorial to look at. A long time ago, I figured out this channel and what to do. I'm not sure my other one is fixed the same way that's helpful. So I'm trying to do this so I don't have glare. And yes, at some point I should buy one of those rings so then I'll have less glare because it's really my glasses. And I don't really know which way that's not good. Yeah, I still have to play around. Well, all right. This is like so I'm shining the light out into the neighborhood, and it's like what do you call the lights when you've doing a drug bust or whatever. Yeah, that's what it seems like. And I got the overhead light on. So hello. Yeah, I can see the little duck in the corner. I don't normally pay for this channel right now. Near future, I think so, because I'd like to have a lot of people join in for different things. So tonight's little coverage is I'm going to go over some crystals, my crystal book. I'm going to read a passage from another, at the time it would have been called a New Agey book, but it's interesting because it was published in 1997, and there's a little section I want to read to you, and some of you may actually feel it represents this now time. So that would be kind of cool. I'm going to go over some Violet Flame stuff and some one or two things I've made up. So you'll see that in progress. We'll do a little card pulling and then we'll go into some energy work. So yeah, I think that'll be good. So I want to be transparent that I am all for surrendering, not being a rug. Love is not a doormat. But if I say something and seem to insult you, sometimes I might do it on purpose. And I won't apologize for my behavior. That I won't apologize for. What I will apologize for, if you ask for an apology, is that I may have seemed to hurt your heart. And because I do a lot of rants, I will do, people have, I'll just say, fuck them and heads are up their ass and whatever. And I will call people out for their behavior, just like they're going to call me out for calling them out. And if your heart hurts, I will say, I did not want your heart to hurt, but I'm going to call it like it is. And I'm not going to mince words. I'm not that kind of a nurturer. I'm kind of like, I'm going to give you what's real. And if I find I mince words too much or make them too flowery at times when it's in the moment, that's not who I am. If you don't like the content and you don't like what I'm saying, don't listen. But you may miss out on something valuable that will help you or not. Or actually, the whole exchange may help me, which is quite selfish, and I'm all into my own expansion because as I expand, I am and being a great leader. I'm an architect for this planet. I'm a way shower, a light bearer, light worker. I am a an emissary for the Galactic Federation of Nations, which in our lifetimes we are going to know about. The Galactic Federation of Worlds is one council, and then there will be emissaries for the nations, nations from all planets that come together in healing, harmonization, peaceful negotiations, and transparencies unlike anything else, because we are going to go by frequency, energy, and vibration. And there's going to be a very difficult time to lie about that. It's much like when you've seen some sci fi movies and spaceships or the animals or whatever are like, on Avatar, and they plug their hair or their tails into each other. It's really a symbiotic relationship. And so there's not going to be much getting away. Will there be like maybe another level of bootlegging and people know how to manipulate frequencies? It might, but not so much because we're onto it, because technology is beyond our current almost understanding are going to be released. Medbeds are there. Medbeds are there for the beings who seem like children or children coming up from deep underground military bases, those beings or entities or creatures or humans that have been in those places, and those that have survived. And so those are for them and being used in a way that will help them be alive. A ventilator, for example, doesn't belong on someone who's normally just breathing oxygen. Ventilators were meant for the people from um, the underground dumbs, and because things happen to the cells that they need to have them spin or have them on this because it's going to help them from what their conditions were, but not regular folks. It's all been like a huge war mess with all this chess game stuff. Also, med beds are going to come because there will be anti aging ones, regrow body part ones, de stress, calm, give your memory back ones in a good way and not used for nefarious reasons. Because med beds could be black goop beds, could be icky stuff, like you may have seen sometimes on like the X-Men, stuff like that. But anyway, I'm all for apologizing. If even if it's uncomfortable but it feels right, I'm all for apologizing. But I'm also not for making excuses because who I am is who I am. And sometimes you notice like this sweet lady, and sometimes she's just like in your face, kind of F this, F that. That's who I am. And that's what comes out because that's the passion. And sometimes having been mad at people or groups of people or people I used to know, and again, this it's an umbrella. I'm not speaking them face to face. What it is they've made choices and they're allowed their choices. You are allowed to get 12 jabs in the arm. You're allowed to drink all the Pepsi you want. You're allowed to eat all the French fries you want. You're allowed to eat meat even though the animals have you're allowed to do what you think is right for you. However, I'm just saying, if I offer you some science information, and I don't even argue, just say you might want to take a look at this, and you say I'm on your page and did something bad. Okay, your page showed up. I said, that's all great, but you might want to look at this and you don't. That's on you. You want an apology? Okay, I'm not going to go to your page. In fact, you probably blocked me, and that's okay because I could block you. I guess I probably did. I don't know. But the point being that sometimes the messenger has a message for you. It won't serve you now, but it may serve you in 3 hours, 3 days, 3 months. And if not, scroll away. Just like most of the time, scroll away from people. God bless them. Because we're all one. So I want to share a couple of things. And again, if I repeat, this is also for other people who may just be joining in. So I took a walk yesterday in the woods, and my intuition, I was really kind of sad. The beautiful, first of all, it was cold. I was just enough, but the way the forest walk is, you have to walk a little bit, and there's a little more sun. And actually, the forest kind of even makes you warm. There's kind of that protection. But I really felt like not as many people were going to leave the planet from the jab, but there is going to be a significant amount of people who leave the planet from this jab, from the boosters. If you'd all hear my voice and you've gotten your vaccines, please stop. Stop. Don't go for the boosters. There are some people you can listen to. Again, so just before I get into the other part of this program, so seaweed and pine needle tea, those are natural detoxers for metals and just great detoxing, help for the body. There was a doctor I listened to briefly. He's actually been around a bit. I haven't listened to him. I've heard about him even once. Then my friend heard about it, and that reminded me. And then I was posting him, and I think he's like Dr. Ardist, but I think I forwarded that to some people today. But he was talking about vitamin D and zinc. He mentioned how to get protocols for COVID-19, if you feel that that's what you're experiencing, to get them from, I believe, compound companies. You don't have to go to your pharmacy and you don't have to go to pharmaceuticals. You can actually, there are places throughout the United States and Europe you can get these from, and in a few weeks or in a week. So just doctors, other doctors who have their own practices are getting them, and also just regular people. So there's really a lot available. It's just that some people don't want to look, they don't want to ask, and they don't know even to look or ask because their program in the matrix runs very deep. But some people will, some people who felt coerced into the jab, they are very aware. And we should not forget that there are a group of people like that. And as long as they can be guided to me and reach out, or even to you folks out there who happen to know, listen to Stu Peters on rumble.com, or I'm trying to remember the guy's name that I forwarded. He has a channel on rumble.com. I believe Charlie Ward, he might be on Patreon and Rumble and BitChute.com. I haven't followed him in a while. There is Simon Parks of Connecting Consciousness. I think it's simonparks.com or simonparks.org. Remember, there's Peggy Hall at thehealthyamerican.org. I don't know what her protocols are, but she absolutely has a lot of legal tutorials and connections of verbiage and what to say in situations, which is everything's coming to the surface. So some people may still need this who are about to be fired and feel they have no recourse because they aren't able to sue these employers. But actually, everything is already like legal in human rights, civil rights, Article 7 of is it the human rights, the Constitution. The amendments, the law of God, really the law of one, the law that you were born under to be free and sovereign. Those are legal. That is even what the Constitution says. If you read the Declaration of Independence and what the Constitution is about, it's all about you having a voice and you are free. You were born, and we are literally now we're going and stepping into the age of we are born free. We're not in the shackles of the 13 bloodline families. And, in my area, there's a governor named Governor Baker. He actually looked pretty good. I saw a glimpse of him on TV as I passed the Eagle TV in the living room to the kitchen, and it doesn't look like him. But my intuition is like Governor Baker's going to pay. Yeah, he's going to pay. There's a lot of governors, a lot of different mayors, Republican, Democrat, whatever they are. They're all going to pay. Most of the people, like Alan Baldwin in the news, he's evil, and this was a way to like get him. Did that woman really die? I don't know about my intuition, what if that part is true, but uh, he's he's part of the adrenochrome blood drinking people. Yeah. So let's for now, let me just go on to the crystals that I picked and show you like what I have because it's kind of really cool. And you may like these, and I'll talk about my crystal after that. So I'm gonna pick the Tortella agate. So it's found in Wyoming, and its patterns, and I'll show it to you, have like these round circles. So it was like underwater, and the agate is like made from like a lot of dead trees and a lot of dead stuff, and it's pressure, 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 and that's agate. That's kind of said in a very loosely way, but there was sea life, so there were fossils, and they're snails, and that's what the pattern that you see is that's its shells of snails. So this is mine is white and tannish and dark brownish. It promotes emotional, intellectual, and spiritual maturity, enhances a sense of security and self confidence. And let's say I said that it can connect you to your ancestry, to your roots, and your past life events. So while it is considered a lower vibrational stone, it's still a very good harmonizing stone for stability, for strengthening for strengthening influence in you and grounding. And it has little eyes on it. So let me see if I can get it close to you that you can kind of see it. Oh, that's kind of a good one. See it? These are all like the imprint of little snail shells. It's kind of like a fossilized. Well, the way that agate and a lot of crystals and minerals come together is pressurized over eons of time. I want to say this is from the Essene age, but I could be wrong. That the way it was made. See, isn't that cool? So while a lower vibrational stone, it really helps to strengthen your courage, your determination, um, your stability, and it helps with your emotional, intellectual, and spiritual maturity. And if you think about it, when you want to ground yourself and go inside, this, partnered with like clear quartz crystal, which is an amplification stone, and you could also probably put a little bit of selenite, which is for clearing. But I also feel like that's a very good energy. I used to just go around with a clear slate of selenite for a while. It was really good. All right, so let's see. And then I want to do the tree agate. Yeah, tree agate. I love this. It kind of reminds me of a fairy stone, and that's why I got it. And then I found out why. Because this tree agate is, you can use it for your plants, like plant it, whatever size you find, you can plant it in or near your plants, like in a garden or in your pot of plants, because it helps the growth. It's like a nature stone. It helps you commune with nature and nature spirits. It's a stone of inner peace and calming, centering. It's a lightness for your mind, body, and spirit. It boosts your immune system boost. And it can balance, it's thought to balance the water in the body. and it's associated with the heart chakra because of its green in there. So this will help promote relationships and your own composure. And I started to talk about, the amplification of your connection with the spirits and nature, and also to plants and or the plants that you might be growing or toss in your garden. That's what this is for. That'd be really cool, right? Like, when you're growing herbs and different flowers to put these around. You could probably dig them up if you wanted for the winter, but if you don't mind them outside, be outside. They came from outside to begin with anyway. Okay. It's interesting. I have picked two agates, and they really do have to do with really like your self empowerment, your growth, your grounding, your strengthening, immune system, like really important key stuff at this time. Oh, and yellow jasper. Okay. So it nurtures and heals and brings courage, brings you courage and wisdom. It's a good protection stone. It's a good protection stone for as being a guide if you're journeying, like doing some meditation. Take it on your spiritual and physical journeys. It develops inner strength and mental clarity. It brings enthusiasm and optimism. Who couldn't use that right now, right? It is another immune booster. Cool. So it's thought to prevent nosebleeds, epileptic fits, and help prevent colic in babies. Wow, you could give some stones. Oh, the properties of the sun. And because of that, it's also associated with and because of that, it can guide you in knowledge. Um, it's considered like an instructional stone for tapping into your knowledge. And it helps if you have any, it helps any damage in your lower extremities. So in the first three traditional chakras, the root chakra, the not solar plexus, that's the third chakra, the sacral chakra, and then solar plexus. So I think I have used this stone, but I use stones anyway. Don't always do stones based on color and chakras. I had some guide to use the chakra stone I should on the body when I do this crystal healing. So those are the three stones that I picked today, and I think they're all really empowering you. I got these bookstore in hold on, bookstore from Worcester. I think it's considered Worcester. But it could be, yeah, it's considered Worcester, but just a step beyond it would be West Boylston, Massachusetts, on West Boylston Street. And Tracy, the proprietor, is a very wise woman. I feel she's very grounded, and she has stayed politically calm. She has followed COVID protocols because she has honored that and wanted to help keep her business open. But I always think of metaphysical stores as like not having a problem, and yet that's not really true. There's been a lot of psychic, intuitive people who've gotten the medicine in the arm just in case because they don't trust their inner guidance. That's just what it comes down to it. Or they may have been coerced. Or maybe they know they got a placebo. Or maybe it was a family thing and they felt pressured. I can't answer for everyone, but there's all these different scenarios out there. So the tree agate, the yellow jasper, and if I can pronounce it correctly, it almost sounds Italian, Turritella agate, the one that has like it's fossil like the cells and the little eyes, they were little beings. There. All right. And now I'm going to go on to this books I got because I wanted them for a long time. and it's called the Crystal Bible. And the Crystal Bible has 3 books. And I actually found them at I think at a decent price on Evil Amazon. Certainly you can get them even a little cheaper. And I noticed in some places they're more, so you can shop around. But they look like this. This is the Crystal Bible and version 2, which is a continuation, and then 3. So they all have different crystals in them. There's sort of like so many crystals in the world. And even I want to say this one that's called the tree agate, there actually was another example of tree agate under a different name, which if I see it right away, I'll point it out. But it was just very interesting. It's a beautiful collection of books. They're done really nicely. They're in really beautiful feeling paper. So it's they're really nice. There's little bits of like how to take care of the crystals. There's a little bit of mythology, a little bit of what different science names connected to the crystals. I think there's crystal gritting in here. There's some history. Yeah, there's gritting. There's history. Let's see. In the back, I thought I noticed there's stuff about the chakras and the body. Here, there's tons of information. It's a library within itself. Now, even these Bibles, is it complete? I don't think so. At the same time, there's so much information and some overlapping information. Like I didn't find the Turtel agate. I didn't find that agate here. I actually went online. I mean, the agate I got at Tracy's store. There is a section of agate in here, but I wanted to get it because of its beautiful pictures. I wanted to get it because other crystal salespeople have this on their shelves, and I would keep this like in having a little crystal place. I would still refer back to it as a kind of encyclopedia reference. And granted, we have the internet, and there's also other books, crystal books to get to explore. So I mean, I just like how it breaks everything down. It'll talk about color, appearance, rarity, source. Um, it just shows, sometimes it talks about their properties of healing, um, how to hold it, even. But I think one is guided. And it does talk about how crystals talk. In other words, if you go into a crystal store, metaphysical store, and your intent is, I want to buy crystals that speak to me that I can use, well, okay. And they'll be guided. You'll be guided to what you should buy. I mean, that's how I kind of just go around and see what calls me. So yeah, I do that. Um, Gosh, maybe I should have kept this on because I know there were people looking at me on Facebook. Maybe they only have Facebook. So let's see. I'm going to probably pull the Facebook back up for a second. Hi, I decided to pull me back up on Facebook because I noticed that some followers weren't jumping on the YouTube thing, and I'm live. So I don't know how that works. Maybe you can't get on. So I'm just going to leave it right now and it'll just be recording. Okay, so this is part of the live show there, Facebook people. All right, so there's that. I wanted to talk a little bit about, I'm going to talk about some visualization stuff. I think I'll do that first because I'm going to go into some Hey, Deborah, sorry. I thought that you would be jumping on the other thing. So the YouTube thing, but that's all right. I'm just going to keep this up and maybe you'll see me both ways. I don't know. So I've mentioned vision boards, treasure maps, treasure boxes. You can actually write out your intentions. But let's say you don't want to do a lot of writing. Let's say you want to collect some pictures of things, places, people, clothing, machines, cars, um, uh, your own body shape and such, you can make a vision board, which is the easiest and funnest thing to do. It's probably a day or a weekend project, depending on how detailed you want to be, and you can make separate ones or separate sections. Let me see if I can like use an example. Let's just say, oh, I didn't bring it. Let's just say this was an 18 by 20 poster board, for example, just something that kids might make a chart on. And you could say, like, you could think or you could write my beautiful life, and you would collect pictures. You would collect things that appeal to you, that make you happy, that bring you joy, that possibility that you want to bring into being. And whatever those are, you could keep them in sections or just randomly put them on. And I suggest that the pictures you choose are as close to what you want to manifest as possible. Now, don't pick the picture and say, oh, what the fuck am I doing? And I don't ever believe I can get that, or it makes you more sad than more possible. Don't put it on there. Don't put it on there, because you're going to send yourself the opposite messages. You're not going to get it. You want something that uplifts you, that brings your sadness to joy and your joy to extra joy, ecstasy. Like, I'm down with this. I'm open to it. It's happening. And I'm just going to let my vibration and intentions fly. So that's like a vision board. You can also call it a treasure map. Now, there are boxes, and I've done this before too. You can put things away, pictures in boxes of what you want to attract. Part of the deal of the attraction is to think and or look at these items a little bit every day. 5 minutes before bed or 3 minutes before bed is ideal, because you're putting yourself to sleep in the dream state and you're letting the day go. And in your intention to sleep and sleep well and be protected, because you're going to sleep and leaving your body and learning lessons, that's a really good time that our manifestations can be percolating into the now and be meeting us by a magnetic frequency attraction of our desire. So that's a very good time. It is not a good idea to put your poster board up if you share a household and people just want to make fun of you, because that will dilute your intention. And perhaps, especially on days that you feel weak and uncertain or wobbly, you will not allow. It will just kind of sort of vibrate, or maybe go lower on a vibrational um, scale, if you will, because it will be hard to keep that certainty. And certainty is your desire. Certainty is your knowing. Certainty is your faith. Certainty is your flashlight. Certainty that you are getting there, are there. It is going to meet you, this desire, this manifestation of possibility. That's what the age of Aquarius is about: harmony and understanding, mutual trust, bounding, no more falsehoods or diverations, golden, vivid dreams of living, mystic, crystal revelations, and your mind's true liberation. That's Aquarius. So, and that's from the 70s song. It's a beautiful song. It makes me cry sometimes, because when it came out in the 70s, in the 80s, I thought, wow, we're in this time now. We're in this time now. No, we were still in the Piscean age. So, no, wasn't to be. So, also, I want to talk about manifestation. The a lot of times, if you are willing and you hear Michael Jaco, there are other ex-military and other ex-space force soldiers and or scientists. They're going to talk about med beds, or like what do you call it, like beds or uh, cylinders, that people became beautiful or ugly. People became mindless. People became powerful because they have these things already. So when I mentioned med beds before, the med beds are a version of this other stuff that's been, like, if you ever saw X-Men and they put the Wolverine guy and he came out with the metal in his body, because they have that technology that make clones, half human, cyborg, make you whatever. So the technology is there. Technology is good, but is it in the hands of nobility? You could be God, goddess on earth, but are you noble? Are you using the frequencies of power, of love, and care for good? Or are we going back into experimentation because we're thinking of ourselves only as gods and that we're right minded control freaks of what we want to experiment with? Or are we going to just say we're not going to repeat the past? I know we've always had this conditioning that history repeats itself, but since we're going to be free of the karmic wheel that was given to us via bad ancient ancestors and those in partnership with off worlders and underneath world evil and invisible helper, evil people, evil things, it's not going to be quite the same. It's going to be better. It's going to be uplifting. It's going to be soul enlivening. It's going to be respectful. It's going to be like we're going to talk to each other by our third eye telepathically, like they do in the movie Dune, because that's so clear. Like, I'm going to send this energy frequency to you. You're going to know what I'm saying to you. You're not going to be like, well, what? Did I miss something? It's going to be so clear, and we are so awakening. I really believe that most of us are going to wake up and go, "Oh, I know this. Oh yeah, I remember this." It's going to be super great, and it's going to be used because we are just not going to be taking things personally. We could apologize easy. We could say, "Well, that's your point of view. Love you anyway." We could say, "Yeah, of course you." I don't know if they're gonna swear if they're gonna swear anymore, but like say motherfucking asshole, but yeah, you're a good person, but I'm just gonna call you motherfucking asshole because like you're stupid. But go go be with God in the light. But I don't have anything to say. I like you, but today you're a motherfucking asshole. Because sometimes maybe I'm a motherfucking asshole. I'm like so transparent that I will admit when I'm whatever. Because I don't really care. I want to grow and expand and be. And I don't want someone's other judgment to hold me back. I don't even want my own judgment to hold me back. I want to go, oh, did that, don't like it. Oh, was that, don't like it. Oh, yeah, I did that. I'm gonna be that way. It's okay. It's like, do you. Do you big, do you bold, do you loving, do you great. Don't shrink back from the light that you came from because you are that light in these bodies. Okay, my point of bringing up other visualization is, and I have to remember this because this has been said long ago by different people, but especially I'm remembering a channeler named Bashar. Bashar is Daryl Anka. Interesting. The light, the dark. What is he? I always thought he was a great guy. Uh, Maybe that's still out for commentary, but I remember some great things he said. At least with who he channeled. He channeled Bashar. So Daryl Anka was in Hollywood. He was for many years. He was a special effects person, so he was in the Hollywood. So you know what? Was he into the adrenochrome? I don't know. I don't know how famous he was. That's why I'm saying, is he mixed? But he started channeling, and he also started channeling because he got interested in spaceships. Something happened. He saw spaceships. He saw dark triangles. Now, whether he saw the bad UFOs from our military or the bad UFOs, he saw them, and that led him to want to take classes on how to be psychic, how to read cards, how to understand things that a lot of people don't see. I thought there was a lot of good information in what he would give at times, so I like the early Bashar. uh, I think I think it's good, but there's still so much for us people wanting truth to find out. Was he for the bad? Was he for the good? Because he channels someone that was Anunnaki, and they were not all considered good. So you have to go look some things up galactic wise. I don't even remember some of this stuff that I have to go look back up because I would hear things, and then my attention's diverted, and I'm looking up other stuff. Like I'd rather be into the Syrians, Palladians, Arcturians, like that. And I have seen a spaceship a long time ago, and it was beautiful, like a golden, a brassy kind of golden spaceship, long, long time ago. And it was like beautiful, amazing. So anyway, what I like, I cannot find this. It would be somewhere in old YouTube land. Bashar mentioned one thing you could do to bring about the body you wanted is play, and I do think this is fine. Place yourself in blue liquid goop, blue liquid, and you see the cylinder bed that you're in rising this blue liquid and in engulfing you, and you're seeing your body mold and shape the way you want to start to be seen. Now, think of a butterfly's journey. Think of the caterpillar. The caterpillar is the caterpillar. The caterpillar eats so much, gets so big, does whatever it does with his mouth. It's finally time, and it spins this. It spins its own cocoon, spins its own cylinder, and so many days it takes. And the caterpillar inside the cocoon is actually dissolving. Its molecular structure is actually becoming something else. If you interrupt it, you have killed it. But if you let the process happen, out emerges a beautiful, healthy butterfly. And while its lifespan may not be long, it's a powerful symbol of possibility, of beauty, of transformation. I mean, monarch butterflies, they migrate thousands of miles to mate. Thousands of miles. You can look it up, and I forget, it was like North America to South America. I mean, oceans, all kinds of odds, thousands and thousands and thousands, maybe millions of these butterflies that are called to migrate and go to the ancestral mating places. The magic of possibility and frequency abounds within, through, and around us. That is the force. That is the all that is and ever was, and that's what you come from. And that's why, like, use the force, Luke, or the all is one, the one is all. The law of one. This is how powerful we are. These are not just coffee table conversations. These need to be the conversations we take classes in, that we remind each other of on YouTube, that we follow people who want to strive and present themselves, who are speaking this, and eventually, like in me, the anger, the sadness of the others who are going to jump off the planet, that will pass, because they have come to show us what with this, and us, even in our anger, even in some of our universe, we don't have that tape playing from our reptilian brain. There is something in our soul journey that said, no, you are here for the age of Aquarius. You are here for your 1,000 years. You are here as blueprints and way showers for the next surge of the rise of the galactic human. That's who you are. Galactic spiritual masters of the universe, and time to put our powers of care and kindness to good use, to manifest your $1,000,000 or whatever we're going to be using, to manifest the house you want and the clothes you want, the body you want, the health you want, the radiance, the friends you want, the vacations you want, the technologies for good everywhere, expanding outward exponentially, because that's your power. Let your Merkabas be activated. Let your auric, your field, your aura, and the layers of that field energy vibrate out. So here's the thing about, and I haven't thought about it in a while, but the auric field. So we have this solid thing that we are, that vessel around us, where our energy actually pulsates within, through, and around us. Okay, because the field is alive in, through, and around us, because we're just energy sponges, and we come out of that field. So we also have the aura, the auric field, the layers. And so sometimes when you've seen the, is it Curlin photography? And now there's even another, there's an auric, it costs a lot of dollars. There are machines that take pictures of your aura that like $16,000, but there's a camera like Auracam 6000 or something that will take pictures of the aura too. And there may be some less expensive ones that you know about. So takes pictures of the aura field. And that's why sometimes when you actually see a picture of somebody, they may be white light, but you may see other colors because our fields have different colors at different layers. The different layers, I don't understand how many we have or what the colors. I think they're representative of all the chakras, what's going on in our chakras. At least I'm suspicious of that. But also, we're going to come to find out that we have more than seven chakras or eight chakras in our body. There's more. There's maybe seven major ones, and actually, they may be going into a shift of where actually what would call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to maybe 13 or 16 or 17. And they're in some of my books that I just haven't started reading yet, but they're there. The information is there. So let's go to a couple of mantra things. Now, a mantra basically is a prayer. A mantra is like a decree. A mantra is something you would say over and over again, at least 3 or 6 or 9 times. Some Buddhist people, or it's recommended say you say it throughout the day, so it's 108 times because there's power in the 100. For whatever reason, there's power in the number 108. Maybe because it equals 9. There's also other things to look up for the 108. However, 369, 10 minutes a day, saying a mantra. So you could say it in traffic. You could say it when you get up in the morning. You could say it in your car before you get out of work. You could take a mantra with you and you could say it before you go into a grocery store. You could say it while you're falling asleep. There's different ways to like that. You could say it while you're on your walk when you know it, or take the paper with you and people see you walk and just they can think you're goofy. That sometimes you think people are noticing you. They're doing their own life. They're on their walk. They're running. They're sweating. They're doing their own life. They like, oh, let's go watch people who are reading their mantras out on the street so we can make fun of them. No, they're doing their own life. They don't care. That just say a mantra. So the mantras I mostly draw upon are from the Lord Saint Germain channeled works. And I can't think of his name. Guy Ballard. Guy Ballard was a guy, I think, in the 1930s, maybe earlier. Took a walk out Mount Shasta, met this guy in period clothing, said he was Lord Saint Germain. But there's all these mantras from the summitlighthouse.com. Some even made from, oh God, Elizabeth Prophet and her husband. They were very famous too. But these mantras are like encoded and they really work. It's much like the Grabovoi numbers I've talked about, or gosh, what else is any kind of sacred prayer that just works because of the way you're saying and intending it. And what I wrote down just to help us understand the violet flame stuff is the use of the violet consuming flame is more valuable to you and all mankind than all the wealth and all the gold and all the jewels on this planet. And that comes channeled by Lord Saint Germain. You can find, I think I've read the I Am Discourses a long time ago. I think that's an easy book to read. I Am Discourses by Lord Saint Germain. The Magic Presence, that I think is talking about the I Am Presence from the God Force, the All That Is, and the Unveiled Mysteries. Now, which book there is, it might be Unveiled Mysteries. There is a book that has a series of all the mantras in it and why or how you apply to say them. But you can find them online just by putting in Lord Saint Germain. And hey, Robert Marks, hello. You can, I don't know if this will actually work to bring you people, bring Robert Marks on camera. Their friends won't be able to watch this live video unless they're in the audience. I don't know. If you want me to bring you on, I'll try, but buttons to press. So I was talking about the Lord Saint Germain stuff. So these work. They're renowned to work, the mantras. But the book, it could be Unveiled Mysteries somewhere in my repertoire of information. I have which book that is. But again, you can go to the summitlighthouse.org or .com. You can start to put in who is Lord Saint Germain, or put in Violet Flame mantras. At some point, some different screens will show up. I mean, I think I pulled up something like Ascension hyphen or Ascension, and I put it here in this the chat on my this YouTube channel. But Ascension equals or hyphen saintgermain.com. So Ascension hyphen saintgermain.com. That will bring up a bunch of stuff too. Some sites will bring up all the gods, goddesses, or aspects of God, aspects of all that is. that help with different avenues in your life. Um, I wanted to bring up and read this to you. It came in parts. So let's see. The direction, and yeah, it is in the chat here on this coyote heart. So if you go back and can take a look at that, that will just bring you to the page of where I got this. It's just basically saying take a few breaths and center yourself. You get to name who you call in, whether it's high power, Lord Saint Germain, the I am presence, beloved God, whatever makes you feel empowered in the possibility of your own manifestation, because your word is your wand, which comes from Florence Scovel Shinn, or even Catherine Ponder, who basically has great information about how the God force works. Even though sometimes their languaging can seem outdated, it's really there for your empowerment. So let's say, okay, it says, I am presence, beloved God, my heavenly source. Please make manifest in me now the sacred violet flame of transmutation. Bring the violet flame into every cell, molecule, and atom of my body, filling me with totally and completely. Blessed violet flame blaze into my heart and expand out and around all of my bodies. We just talked about the auric field. All of my bodies, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, surrounding my entire being with your divine grace, love, mercy, forgiveness. Transmute that cause and care of everything that no longer serves me in body, mind, spirit, including false beliefs, lower thoughts, emotions, as well as physical limitations and challenges. Violet flame, transmute this current issue I wish, whatever that current issue that you have said or say again, to change my life. Describe the issue as in parentheses. Turn it into a state which would say, miraculous healing, radiant, vibrant life, fully engaged, fully optimism, full psychic ability on, and an arena of friends and companions that always are guiding me on my way, ever safely. Transmute anything and everything that stands in my way of embodying the ascended Christ being that I am in all dimensions. Something else is missing. Um, let's see, in all dimensions. I guess I don't have the rest of it, so it's probably a little bit more like that. Anyway, it's there for you. So I started to say that with you. It seems like it takes a long time because I'm just reading it to you. But once you do it, a minute, 2 minutes goes by like this. So you put it on your bedstand, you put it on your night bureau, whatever. And if you start to say it just a little bit, you might end up like it. There might be some hiccups. So during a week, maybe you said it 2 times. Then next week you say it 4 times. Next week you say it 2 times. Next week you say it 5 times. The thing is, we have to choose practices that help us grow and expand. And if you do that, before you know it, you are in mastery. You are doing that. That is you. You are great. You're great. That, this is how you become great. It's like not too many people are just born and they're the Christ of Jesus. And even he went on a learning. Not too many people are born and they're Mozart. He still had to start to practice, and then boom, his genius was there, but he had to start. So we have to start somewhere. So I think I want to pick a card. Actually, I want to read this thing to you that is actually so pertinent for the now time. And it's from a book that was written in 1977, and it's in chapter 10, Coming Times. So this is just a paragraph from this chapter. Many of you within America and other nations are here from many eons ago. You have come back once again to pioneer positive use of higher technologies for these coming times. You've come to Earth to use these higher ways of thinking and these technical devices in total spiritual balance to create peace rather than using these devices in a negative way. Although humanity's mind has been greatly limited, there are those of you who will again use your minds to create a higher vibratory pattern in your bodies. This achievement will allow you to accelerate and transcend the limitation of your earth body and advance to a physical etheric body when time is correct. And this is us. These are the times we're entering to prepare to be all that we can be, to go 5D, to go 6D, to go 7D, 22, to end up as our ancestors before us and be in that circle vibration. So we see them all the time. Spaceships are. And when we are practicing more humaneness, they will be here in exchange. But we cannot see what we are not really ready for. You can't see something that you've manifested. You have manifested it, me too, but you're not ready for. Now, granted, there's something to say about the human experience, about feeling through and into, about not having all instant manifestation, because all the things you ever wanted and all the people you ever wanted, if they showed up on your doorstep, in your driveway, at your condo, there'd be people going, what the hell did that fucking Sam do? It's like there's like 10 people out there, there's like 14 cars, there's a sailboat, there's a genie out there and some midgets saying that they got a pot of gold, and really you're just nutty because you ain't ready. Just like if you got your plane ticket and you go too early, the plane is not going to take off. Not unless you're such a great manifester that then you speed time ahead and all of a sudden the plane is there. So there's something to be said about growing into something, but in earnest and integrity and nobility and focus, you're allowed to have your miracle and your epiphany as fast as you want. That's not up to Rita. That's up to Coyote. That's up to you. That's between you and you, your higher self, all that is. And no one else. Not your spouse, not your friends, not your YouTube people, not the people that like you, don't like you. Just up to you. And you can define and change you anytime you want. That's how powerful we are. That's your power. You are the key. Okay, so that's cool, right? Let's pick a card. And I'm going to do the healing stuff, and I'm going to let you in on that. So we are at 56 minutes. So let's see where this takes us with the card stuff. Oh, I think I'm going to save something I wrote as part of the healing I'm going to send out. So I'm going to save that aside. And I will say that your auric field, or that which you vibrate out, your aura, it's your charisma. It seems invisible, which I started to go over, but again, it permeates, it penetrates all the physicality that you are, and exponentially grows and grows. I usually will tell my Merkabas to activate, spin, and they're part of my auric field, they're part of me here, and spin so that they're wide 25 feet, 50 feet out, and they're protecting me. And that's what the Merkaba is a light body. It is that auric field. The male Merkaba bends left to right. The female Merkaba points down and bends right to left. Yeah. So let's think about our charisma in different ways too. And remember, say you were poop head for a second. You go, oh, I was a poop head for a second. Okay, bless me, bless the people involved. Let's have healings and goodness, and help me out with this, angels or whatever, and then go on and be like your happy self. Sometimes easier said than done, but it's like no one can ruin only us and our perception of what we've done wrong or right can ruin our day. No one can really ruin our day. In fact, when someone says, oh, you called me names and you called me this, yeah, of course I called you names. I remember what I called you. Of course I remember what you called. If I called you and I say call you names again if I want to, if it serves me and teaches whatever that is going on. But only you can take offense. Only I can take offense. Only you can decide, oh, that hurt. Why did that hurt? Why did that perplex me? Why did that make me feel whatever? Well, maybe you have some things to question in yourself. Now, it's different if someone goes for no reason, and I don't know. Every situation is different. I always think, when in doubt, or if you're not sure, or what does it hurt to say, I apologize? Of course, I don't want your heart to hurt, but you were an asshole. And sometimes I'm an asshole. Let's get over it. And if you don't want to get over it, then block me. But you might be missing some important thing that will eventually help you. Okay. Let's do a card. Right? Let's see what happened. So I'm going to pick some cards on our transmutation in our expansion from our dark to our light. And yeah, I'll read the other thing. My cards are like, what is going on here? What is going on here? So I'm just putting my hands over the cards right now. I am going to call in the other powers, for the healing, but I think we're okay right now just to pick some cards. I usually do a ritual around that too, but basically, we want to blend, we want to bring out our shadow from dark to light. We want to have our purity of our hearts. Just help us out with a little bit of direction from the cards. What will serve us best to know tonight? A couple of cards, 1 or 2 cards, kind of help us as we embrace them just before we go into the healing. What will be there? How can we remind ourselves that it's okay to forgive yourself? It's okay to forgive other people. What does it cost you? Forgive them. And that is the evil too. You may not like it, but they were from somehow infinite creation. Matter is neither created nor destroyed, but we do want ones that can't be transmuted and like recycled to go to the golden portal, to go where they can harm no one, nothing, not even themselves, and definitely not return. But infinite mind will know what to do. We are just but guides and mirrors for each other so that we remind ourselves, where do we really want to be? How do we really want to act? What would we really like? Yeah. Help us transmute our difficulties. Help us understand dark and light, that we come from both. And what would you like to tell us in terms of staying fast and strong and in our knowing of our amazing lightness of being that we are? So, as you know, I just kind of let the cards pop out. And I know part of my mindset or ego is that I wasn't looking to pick a lot of cards. It's like just having a little buffer before we go into the healing portion of the end of the show. So there are like 50 something cards to go through. So let's see. Yeah. Okay. Let's see how this goes for us. Really cool cards here. I'm going to hold them up for you. All right. And I'll do my interpretation. I might read from the book. Okay. The first card I believe I got was Divine Union. It shows a picture of a couple and their hairs are intertwined, which talks about how our DNA strands are actually multiplying. We're becoming more crystalline. We're ascending. We are becoming masters, either kicking and screaming, because we're being asked to grow. And it's talking about sacred lineage. So it definitely shows a picture of a spaceship or a version of a spaceship that we're being watched and assisted by invisible and physical realms of from all different places. It's a couple that's very content and happy with each other. So it's the blending of the yin and yang. It's the blending of the male and female. It's the blending of diversity. It's the blending and the cosmic inheritance and physicality to become all that we were divinely meant to be. And it's a number 44, which is interesting because that's 8. Again, the yin yang, the unity, the never ending cycle, possibilities, sacred union, sacred geometries. And it shows us how we can be in partnership with others. Now, I'm taking this, I usually might take it, this is a couple. They care for each other. This might represent you and a partner. This might represent a coming partner, or definitely humanity bonding together in divine union, remembering where they're from, the heavens, basically the heavenly lineage of our ancestors. which is masters of the universe, gods and goddesses. From infinite mind, all things have come. And number 8, you just wonder. I only did for 7 chakras. I'm going to have to start to do some numbers for the other chakras that are coming into being. But just want to see what I wrote down previously. Abundance, prosperity, infinite supplies you with what you need, a sign of success. We are going to have breakthroughs. Don't let mainstream media, newspapers, and other people get you down. We're having a lot of success right now, even if it doesn't look like it. Empower yourself, boost your self-confidence, and let the energy of it lets the energy of money flow to you. So I think between also the knowledge of Nasara Gasara, also of the us as we surrender into what we really want to do for our jobs, the money will flow, and that we're being asked to be outside the box and be more expansive. I'm going to leave that right there for now, and I'm going to show you this other card says extreme times require deep reflection, and that's a number 5, which that's another very spiritual number. Adventure, change, manifestation, appreciation of world around you, gratitude, um, abundance. What's happening around us ultimately is bringing in positive changes. It also speaks to a journey, and some of us may not only be going on the journey within, but the journey without. Like many of you know that I want to go to Florida, and it's going to involve surrendering and going in without, going in and without. I may be even going to a spiritualist community area. Um, and again, the elements earth, air, fire, water, spirit, faith in action. So here you have a lady surrounded by different species, different totem animals, a wolf, the raven, a cougar. So there's courage, there's nobility, there's all seeing, all doing eyes. And she's scrying. She's looking into a pool of sacred water that's dripped into a cave, which I'm thinking this cave is representative of a cave in Telos, where it's said that the water drips in, and when the water fills up, it becomes like a scrying, like a crystal ball. And she's there. She's not only gone within into the earth, but she's going within herself to see with clarity. So this is very interesting how it mirrors what I was talking about, the dark being there to be a mirror for how much light we want to bring into ourselves. It was even my transparency to the point of like, yeah, I called someone a name, I called them out, I called a lot of people out. I used her as a model or scapegoat, this other woman. Did she deserve to be called names? I don't know. That's where I was in the moment. I was very angry at people that just get the vaccine because their doctors told them. Very angry that people just go along and just do shit and say, yeah, we get the vaccine. Oh, it's so great. Oh, man, which is so wonderful. We get the vaccine. My whole family did. But they can't tell you, your family, this woman, she can't tell me. She can't tell me what's in the vaccine because she don't know. She didn't look stuff up. I'm sure she doesn't even know. I told her just look up graphene oxide. I mean, that's enough to be devastating. You put in your body this amazing technological compound that basically can make thin layers of floors, buildings, protect machinery, uh, be on the outside of flying spaceships, you fly in cars, and then it goes into the bloodstream. This is horrific. This is like grotesquely sad. You know, it's kind of like any drug there is, like a natural drug. It could kill you. A natural drug someone could be allergic to. A natural herb, if you know, there's hemlock, it's green, it sort of looks like a Christmas tree. And then there's a pine needle tree, used as Christmas tree. But hemlock will kill you, or eventually kill you. But pine needle tea is going to help you detox and not kill you unless you're allergic to pine needle and you break out in hives. It's not going to kill you. You know, it's not going to. There's things we need to know for each other, about each other, within ourselves. So for me, very briefly, I think this was a helpful confirmation about, you know, being our divine God, goddess selves and recognizing we're not alone in the universe, and that we definitely have divine union. Everything's connected to everything else, and the synchronicity and the sacredness of the eight, of the blend of the male female, of the yin yang, of the continuum of life in that serpentine eight of the money flow or prosperity flow on every level. And that, again, you have the key, activate the power within, as well as this one. Extreme times, these are extreme times. And many people who've started to go within even a little bit, they've realized their family or becoming better at family is important to them, or they're leaving their jobs and they're upset, and yet they're grateful because they hated their jobs. So their job is allowing them, kicking them out for them to expand, grow, trust, you know, and be all that we can be. I wasn't the only one living off of credit cards and all of my savings. But, I have to be honest with you. I was never going to get a vaccine. I haven't had a vaccine since I was 6 or 7. I've never had a flu shot, ever. And when I went to Italy and a few times, for me, being in my young teenage, I didn't have to get a shot or nothing. But I know some other countries, they have to have this and this and this, whatever. But you know what? In time, we're not going to do that shit to each other because there's a Nuremberg code. I'm going to say, I know I want to travel to Africa. What's in that vaccine? Tell me. List me all the ingredients. Where can I go look? If you can't tell me, bitch, I'm not getting it. That means I probably won't go to Africa unless maybe what? I get my own rowboat and row. But by that time, it's gonna work out. I'm not putting drugs in my body unless I wanna. That's me. That's my choice if I want to. But I don't know what's in it. Why would I do it? It's stupid. We are more smart. We have to. It's becoming old. I want to get drunk because it's Friday, it's Saturday, it's Wednesday night, and because I'm 22, I'm 42, I'm 82, I can, and I just want to pass the time because life bothers me. Well, you get what you get, bud. You get what you get. I mean, do it, be accountable. And some people are, but they not really. They laugh it off like a joke, and then other well-meaning people laugh it off with them, like they don't care. If you cared, you would say, "Don't do that to yourself." You would say, "Yeah, I know you want to relax and have a glass of wine. Do you have to drink the bottle? No, do you? Okay. How many times are you going to do that? There's a problem when you every single night drink 2 or 3 beers. There's a problem when every weekend you want to drink yourself because you're lonely or don't know how to deal with something. You're being asked to step into your divinity. You're being asked to go within, and this is a great time for us to all be accountable, and stop being jerks. Me included, if I am sometimes, because sometimes it's easier to be a jerk, right? It's easier to be a dumbass. You don't have to do too much to be a dumbass. Just show up as a dumbass. Sometimes you don't mean to show up as a dumbass. But we are so free. We can choose bondage. We are so free. We can live life by default. I want to live more life on purpose. I would love people to love me, but they're not all going to love me. And it shouldn't love me all the time because friendships withstand the pressures of times or distance because there are times we are going to misperceive. There are times we're going to say something. There are times where just drop the ball. But I don't get up thinking I'm going to call X people in Newburyport or you guys, I'm going to call you dingbats and assholes. I don't wake up like that. I don't plan my swear day. I don't plan to harm or I plan more to have a great day. I plan more to have an insightful day. I plan more like where before my feet, as they're hitting the ground, I say, thank you for this day. Thank you for the beauty of this day. Thank you for the miracles of this day. Thank you for watching over me. Thank you for taking care of me. Thank you for helping me in my dream state. I say that much. You thank the pillows for, if it's not God or infinite mind you hold on to, then thank the universe. You have another day to change things if you want, appreciate things if you want, or so much power you can piss on everything. Ta-da. I hope this was helpful. Okay, now we're going to go into the healing portion of the show. And I'm going to be transparent because I am kind of going to say certain things. It just changes up all the time. Maybe I'll write my own script out where it doesn't change so much, but along the lines of I'm going to include you into what I do. And it may shorten up at times, but so as some of you know, the downloads came several months ago where I saw all these codes. They kept flashing in my mind. They kept coming and coming and coming. One morning I was about to wake up, my eyes were still closed. So much so, I knew that, and I knew before that I had some, I had Reiki symbols, and I was encouraged to help people heal with the Reiki symbols because people were saying they could feel the power of it very intensely. Reiki masters were saying that to me. I'm sharing the story. And so, what I do usually now, sometimes I will call and protect the whole body from the lower chakra to the highest chakra, shielded everything in the Christed light. My spine, and I do it slowly, but my spine, my spleen, my solar plexus, heart, throat, forehead, crown, in the Christed light. 8 feet below my feet, 8 feet above my head. You can change it. You could change it to 12, 13, 16, whatever you want. Usually you just pick 8. I ask my Merkabas to be activated. I ask it to expand. I ask the Christed light of Jesus from my heart to yours to go out to you. I ask that a violet flame tube come in and permeate this whole body and penetrate and permeate the heart of the Christ itself. The rose gold flame to come through, and with the violet flame permeate the Christ heart of the Christ itself, that light, that luminosity, and expand out to the edges. And then I call in a variety of ascended master presences, including Lord Sananda, which is the Christ of Jesus, Lord Saint Germain, Lord Moira, Lord Buddha, Lord Maitreya. I said Lord Saint Germain, the Violet Flame, Violet Tara, Goddess Mothers, Mary, Lakshmi, Kuan Yin, Goddess Mother Mary Magdalene, Portia. Call in all that's great and good. The seraphims, the cherubs, the holy and high archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Chamuel, Ezekiel, Joviel, Ariel, Chamuel, Sandalphon, if I said Haniel, Melchizedek, Zanzibar, Ezekiel, Metatron, great Metatron. I call in my ancestral galactics, which is Assyrians. It's my bloodline, which is Yeshua, the Lord Jesus Christ, has come from Syrians. I call in my other families that I'm from, the Arcturians and the Pleiadians, and ask for their presence. I call upon my elemental family, the High Fae, the High Royalty of Fairies, which also the Sylph is where I'm directly from. I call on all beings of 100% pure light, love, caring, and kindness, nobility. Nothing less than. Anything else is not allowed. It's 100% pure light, love, nobility. Beings I know, beings I don't know, come and assist now as I create a healing space for all who hear, all who see, all who are willing to watch some of this next step of hands going out with the divine light of care and goodness. I command my light codes into this body, command my light codes into this body, into my hands, from the sacred places, the hidden places, data codes, multiverses, places I know and don't know. Let these be on and activated, the sacred numbers and numbers, the frequencies, the formulas, sacred geometry, all codes, everywhere, from all space, all time, all timelines, to come in and activate, that we might transmute our shadows, our dark to light, that we are given the presence of goodness to stand boldly in dark to light, that we acknowledge dark to light has come to help us, and that those souls that cannot be saved, that have turned evil, or who were made or manipulated thus, will be sent to the portal where they will be transformed and transmuted by the one and only, the Alpha, the Omega, the great divine mindset of all that is and ever was. And I'm but a conduit for great healing and majesty to happen. And I made up also a little something for tonight. Transmute and blend all dark to light, pure light of love, care, and goodness bright. Take over, make our way so clear, no darkness can create any more fear. All shows the way to inner prosperity. We surrender to wealth, good heavenly alchemy. Grace's plan, I now know I am more than man. I am radiant spark of love from heaven's towers, as bright as the central sun, because we all are from the one. May whatever you hold in your heart and mind feel an epiphany for your own self expansion and transmutation to your God like Goddess life self. From my Christed heart to yours. God of me, Infinite One, just throw me to you. God of the ancients, God of the ages, all that is and ever was, so old, archangels, angels, do not know how old the presence of this power is. I'm feeling sad right now, slightly sad, and yet the power, I can feel it. I wish sincerely that that bit of energy was felt and that will be directed to where any and all who have seen it will feel uplifted, even transformed, assisted, perhaps invite some kind of insight, a healing, an awareness, because it was sent with care and reverence for the being that you are. Because I'm not the God of you. You are the God of you. You are the light. And all together, us lights make that big spark of consciousness. Because that's what we're from. The force, the eternal oneness, the infinite field, the heart of all that is and ever was and ever will be. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. I wish that you will have a peaceful evening, that your dream state will be soothing and have amazing adventures. I wish that if you play lotteries that you win $40 million and that the heaviest issue you'll go through is which island do I buy? Or how do I share this in such a way that I enjoy my next steps but assist others in their greatness? I wish whatever you want to be is yours to be, and you realize that and strive for it, no matter what age, no matter what size, no matter what education, no matter where you live. I wish for you to be eternally happy. Life is but a game, and we're learning how to play it and how to master our powers. You are the key. Activate the power within. My little coyote heart loves you, and you have a great night. Mwah! Bye.